Thank you guys for coming. My name is Leslie Ryan, and today's date is 10/3. My word today is pretzel. Did you know that the average Tanzanian's education level is a 5.8? That means that they have less than a 6th grade education. Their literacy rate is 76% for males and 65% for females. But this number is so much worse because it doesn't account for the hundreds of thousands of orphans that are undocumented in Tanzania. Tanzania has no real sense of these numbers. Oftentimes, orphans are forced to stay home with their host family to raise the kids and to work the land to help the host family make money. Education is not in these futures often. Before I get too far into the statistics, I want to tell you about how I got involved in all this. It was February 2008, and I was at home making lunch for my son. He comes in griping about how he has nothing fun to do. I look at him and I say, "Would you like help finding something to do?" And my son, being the smart kid that he is, knows that anything I come up with is something he's not going to want to do. So he says no and continues to gripe. I think to myself, how did my son get so spoiled? But I know how. This is my fault. As I'm blaming myself, I resolve to find a way to educate my son on how to appreciate the things that he already has. This resolve led me to want to take him to Africa. Through lots of research, I found a local nonprofit called Orphans Africa. I found Carl Gann. He is a co-founder of OA, and OA builds schools and dormitories for orphans in Tanzania, Africa. Once I met with Carl, I asked him what it was really like there. I had never been to a third world country. My only point of reference was the Sarah McLachlan commercial many, many years ago. He told me about some of the trials and tribulations of the orphans in Tanzania. He told me about the political, social, and economic climate in there, in Tanzania. And then he started to tell me about the OA model of sustainability in schools. When a school is fully built, they are able to sustain themselves and not need additional funds from OA. To do this, they pair a tuition-paying student with a fully dependent orphan. When a tuition-paying student's parents pay their tuition, it not only pays their tuition, but it pays the tuition and the room and board of an orphan. This does two things. It helps to sustain the school running functionally, but it also helps to mingle the orphans and non-orphans to help alleviate some of the stigma of being an orphan. OA believes in development, not aid. Development at a grassroots level. This helps empower the people. Needless to say, after I heard his spiel, I was amazed. I was in. I mean, it was a great cause and a wonderful model. I bought my plane ticket. 40 hours later, off a plane and 14 hours off a bus, I had arrived what seemed like the middle of nowhere. But I had arrived at the Mwaji Secondary School in Tanzania. Once the bus pulled up, I had seen like thousands of people. Most of them were kids, and at the time I didn't really understand why, but after being there, I knew. WorldPopulationReport.com says that 45% of the population is less than 15 years old, and 3% is over 64. The bulk of this is due to the fact that the malaria and the HIV/AIDS epidemic is still very rampant there. There's currently 1.6 million people with HIV/AIDS virus there, which has led to more than 1.3 million orphans. To equate that with the US population, that's like saying that we would have 7 million orphans here, when currently we have about 400,000. As I was walking around the Mwaji Secondary School, I talked with some of the kids. One girl told me about how she walks 3 hours in the morning to get to school, studies all day at school, and then walks 3 hours home at night, and then still has to help out on the farm. This is very overwhelming for some kids. Even if the host lets them go to school, it's very hard for them to make it sometimes. OA saw this need. They started to build dormitories. The first one they built was a girls' dormitory. I was lucky enough to be able to stay in one while I was there because it was summer and a lot of the girls had left to go make money. It reminded me of like an army barracks that you see in a movie, but with bunk beds. As I talked with the headmaster about the dormitories, he showed me a list of about 150 girls that are still waiting for a bed in this 32-room dormitory. The boys are still waiting. They don't have a dorm. The OA is trying. This is what UNICEF had to say about Tanzania. In order to achieve sector goals, it is essential to invest in improving access to quality primary education, including developing cost-effective models for primary expansion, reducing the number of out-of-school children through a comprehensive multi-sectorial program. This comprehensive multi-sectorial program is where you come in. You are able to help these kids in many ways. I'm going to give you just a few. The first one is Amazon Smiles. Amazon Smiles is a program through Amazon that links to your Amazon account. You pick a charity, and every time you make a purchase on Amazon, a portion of that purchase goes to your charity. No additional costs, I promise. The second is iGive.com. They house approximately 2,000 vendors, such as 1-800-Flowers. All you have to do is go there, is type in flowers. It will give you all the local flower shops and the rate that they're willing to donate to your cause. I know that 1-800-Flowers donates 2.4%. No additional cost, I promise. The last thing I want to leave you with is the fact that it only costs $46 per day $46 per year for a student to get a full education, to get fed, and to get medical insurance, which they desperately need. That's only 13 cents a day. If you could donate $6 out of your paycheck every 2 weeks, that would save 3 kids every year from having to worry about where their food is coming from, or worry about how they're going to go to school, or if they're going to die from AIDS or malaria. That's only just missing one expensive latte every 2 weeks. So please go to orphansafrica.org and check it out and just give what you can. A little bit helps.
Much better.
6:54.